Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking all about anxiety and coping strategies. So I have mentioned quite a bit on my channel that I struggle with anxiety. If you haven't seen, I've got a playlist of shorts that I've called Challenging My Anxiety. I think I'm up to about 15 or so now. One of my previous videos also was my first time really talking about my globophobia and my experience with that. So if you'd also like to watch that video, then I'll put that in the description as well. But today we are going to be talking generally about coping strategies that I find helpful when it comes to having anxiety. So before I get into this video, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. So before I get into my points, I do just want to say that obviously I'm not a therapist. This is just things that I find helpful in my life and my personal experience when it comes to anxiety. And let me know in the comments what you find helps when you are anxious about things, so we can all share our tips and tricks when it comes to anxiety. So, tip number 1, I use a past experience to challenge my anxious thoughts. Whenever I'm in a situation that makes me feel anxious, for example, going into a shop that I've been in already that day, which for me can be quite anxiety provoking because I think, oh, are they going to judge me because I keep buying things in their shop? Oh, it's awkward, and all these different thoughts are going around my mind. So in the moment I will try to say to myself, well, remember last week when you went into that particular shop twice in one day and nothing bad actually happened? In fact, actually, it was different staff members anyway, so they wouldn't have recognised you. And they were all too busy focusing on their job to actually even notice what you were doing. So it was fine. And if that experience was fine, there's nothing to actually prove that this current experience won't also be fine. So there's this saying that's possible, not probable, which I really like because it's basically saying that anything is possible in this world. Like, you could step out into your house and get run over by a car, or you could go into a hairdresser and accidentally get all your hair shaved off. But it's unlikely that these things are going to happen, and you can't live your whole life worrying about if they will or not when you have no proof that they actually are going to happen. So I relate to a past experience to help me get through the current experience. And even if the past experience didn't go well, then I say to myself, well, this is a new experience and there's nothing to prove that what happened before will actually happen again. And that really helps to calm myself and feel slightly less anxious when going into these situations. Okay, so the second thing that I do that really helps with my anxiety is trying to get into a regular deep breathing pattern. Now, I know everyone always says, oh, when you're anxious, just take deep breaths, and sometimes it's not as easy as that, but it can really help because in the moment, sometimes you are so flustered that you're not thinking straight and all you can focus on is the anxiety that's consuming you. And so actually taking a moment to breathe and get into a pattern can really help to just calm you down and give you the time and the space to be able to think a bit more clearly. I like to use this especially in the past when I've experienced panic attacks. In the moment, all you're thinking about is this panic attack that's suddenly consumed you, and you sort of feel out of control and very overwhelmed by all of it, but actually trying to go, okay, stop hyperventilating first, and then get into a regular deep breathing pattern can really help. And I think also, obviously, in the moment, a lot of the time, all you're thinking about is the anxiety that you're experiencing. But actually counting in your head, breathe in for 4 and then counting the numbers, and then breathing out for 4 and counting to 4, can really help you to focus on your breathing and hopefully calm the anxiety a bit. Oh, I feel more relaxed already. Okay, the third thing that I like to do that helps with my anxiety is kind of a specific one, but I like to have a comfort item with me whenever I'm going to a new place, or if I'm having a difficult time, then I like to carry something with me that reminds me that I am safe, and it's just a comfort to me. So one example of this is I have like a little cuddly duck that's small enough to fit in my hand, and sometimes he comes with me in my bag if I'm either going to a new place and I'm anxious about it, or if I'm just having a rough day or a rough moment, then I can just have him with me and every now and then just look at him. One, because ducks just bring me joy, and also because I'm so used to connotating my ducks with my home that it just makes me think of home, and that's where I feel safe and I feel relaxed and I feel calm. So yeah, that's something that can really help, whether that's wearing a favourite jumper that you always wear, or having something that reminds you of your mum, or, you know, it's something that brings you comfort that will help to calm you in moments when you are feeling a bit anxious or stressed. The next point is engaging in a special interest. Now, something that's probably quite obvious about me is one of my special interests is music, and part of that is listening to music all the time, everywhere, wherever I am, always listening to my favourite music. And this really helps because it can be quite comforting to, well, one, have a really nice sound of music going through my head rather than all the loudness and the busyness of being out in, well, a busy world. And also the comfort of, I listen to this all the time, it brings me joy, and the joy can override the anxiety. I'm not saying all the time, but it does really help to at least alleviate some of it. And that can just help me to focus on the nice music rather than the anxious thoughts or feelings that I'm experiencing. And for other people it could be different things. For example, if you know that you've got a doctor's appointment in the afternoon, engage in your special interest. For example, that might be doing some puzzles to take your mind off of it, or going for a walk with the dog because you love spending time with the dog. It can be absolutely anything, just to help take your mind off feeling really anxious. So the last point, which is pretty obvious, I think, but is something I do that helps with my anxiety, is talking to someone about it. Now, as an autistic person, I can find it quite difficult to express my thoughts and my feelings. I've never found it particularly easy, especially growing up, talking about how I feel and what I'm experiencing. However, having the right people and the right friends around you can really help you to be able to feel more confident in doing that. And I have lots of friends. I'm very grateful to have lots of friends, and some in particular that I can just message and say, hey, I'm feeling really anxious about this thing, and explain myself, and they'll be so great in, you know, either offering advice or just being there to support me, or just to have someone to listen to how I'm feeling can literally make a world of a difference. And yeah, I'm really blessed to have friends that I can talk to about these things, and it can really help as well to talk to someone that you know can understand what you're going through. Maybe not specifically, but maybe they also struggle with anxiety, or they've had a similar experience in the past. And having friends that can relate to how you're feeling and how you're thinking can just really help you to relieve some of the emotions that you might be feeling when you're anxious. So those are things that I find really helpful when it comes to managing my anxiety. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below what you find helps when you're feeling anxious. And I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video, and I will see you next week.